You already know who it is. You already know what it is. Welcome back to the intrepid world of Cinestro. It's your boy Blacksby, and today in for another banger. Lights, camera, action. It's showtime, baby. Let's get right into it.
Cinestro called the cast. It's your weekly gold mine. Stay tuned in. Stay tuned in. They got it got the beats, got those comic spins. I stay tuned in. Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good to be back. Welcome back to another episode of Cinestro Core Gang. We're trying something a little bit newer on the intro, trying to cut some time down because, apparently people think we take too freaking long and our engagement drops off after like 30 seconds. So, but that's besides the point. Let's talk about it. What we got going on today? We got Big Eddington.
He said, and ranting about it is going to make it shorter.
Absolutely. Y'all going to hear my complaints.
What are we talking about? We're talking about the most it happened movie of the year, Eddington.
It happened.
I'd say certainly Gerardo's right. This is a movie of all time.
This is a movie of all time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's just start straight to the point. No fucking bullshit. Did y'all like the movie? Yes or no?
Yes.
I liked it more than the last one. Liked it more than I Was Afraid. And that's a win in my book.
Yeah.
Ari Aster was on my shit list.
I said
I'm right there with him.
I said this is definitely a cerebral film in comparison to the other films we've been watching the last couple weeks. As we know, we love our cape shit. We love our superheroes. Sometimes we switch it up a bit, put some more deeper meaning films. And Ari Aster delivers a good critique on society in and post 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic when it all kicked off. Funny, it said May 2020. I was like, damn, I remember what I was doing back then. Fuck all. I was not doing anything. I was doing this. I was playing video games. I was at home. But it's cool to see, how a small town was functioning at that time.
Also, we should point out we're from Texas. Lockdown didn't fucking happen here. We never saw this.
Yeah.
What is lockdown?
This is a myth.
Did lockdowns even happen in New Mexico or Arizona, wherever this is?
No, it was people. Yeah, leave a comment. Did you guys have to shut down your state wherever you are? Or if you're from England, tell me if you shut down Edinburgh. If you're from India,
tell me you shut
down. He said, if you're from England, tell me about Derry.
He's in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Scotland, my bad. Yeah, same shit, bro.
That's from the UK, bro.
It's not America, and
I don't think they like that. I don't think they like that.
No. But you know what does matter, Louis? You know what does?
Manchester. My fault.
You know what does matter though?
What
does matter is the story of this film, which I will gladly regale the people with. The population.
Get through it quick.
All right.
Yeah.
So this. In summary, when you look this up, it is in 2020 during the COVID lockdowns in a small town. A sheriff responds to a neighbor complaint. That is the exact description of this movie. And the moment that I saw the A24 logo and Ari Aster was on this, I was like, "That's not it. No, there's more. I know. I'm not. You can't trick me anymore, Mysterio. I'm not falling for this shit. This is not going to be normal. This is going to get weird.
This is essentially what it is. Yeah, it's a Western. It's a modern contemporary Western set during the pandemic, featuring. It's basically an ensemble film that the story focuses on the rivalry between a local sheriff, Joe Cross, played by Joaquin Phoenix, and Mayor Ted Garcia, played by Pedro Pascal. Basically the conflict begins when Joe refuses to wear a mask at a local grocery store, and this leads him to run for mayor of Eddington, challenging Ted, who thought he would run, who is the incumbent and thought he would run unopposed. Boom. That's basically the synopsis of the film. Thus shit happens, and that's how we get this movie. But
I
didn't say if I like the movie or not. From earlier.
Say it.
I did like it. I think. I've just been thinking. I talked to Gerardo yesterday when I came out of watching it, and I've kind of been thinking about it a lot since then. And I think it's grown in my estimation since I've walked out of the theater. I'm not at like leftist or like liberal white people like praising this movie to be a masterpiece and the greatest movie they've seen this year. I'm not at that point.
Superman exists,
and I don't think I will be.
And he lives in Eddington.
But I do think the more I think on it and the more I let it ruminate kind of in my brain, the more
you're able to convince yourself it's good.
Yeah, probably.
Is what you're trying to say.
I am also an Ari Aster acolyte. I love everything he's made. I don't think he's made a bad film. I love Beau's Afraid. I think Beau's Afraid is damn near talking about. I think it's like legit. An incredible
just soundboarded your ass, dude.
Oh, what do you say? I can't hear it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I think it's legit almost a mess. So, but yeah. So basically, that's what we. I mean, what do y'all think? It's a lot.
So
this movie is a lot.
The first,
I'll let y'all go.
The way I see this movie, it's done in 3 parts. Mm-hmm. Part 1 and 2 are the slow burn. Obviously, it's building. Mm-hmm. We think, and my girlfriend actually made a good point. This could have been a cool series to have like the first part of it be, introducing your characters, showing a bit of Sheriff Cross's life, showing a bit of Ted Garcia's life, getting into the nitty gritty, showing all the different bullshit going on in Eddington, showing how Joe gets to the point like I'm gonna run for mayor. But at the same time, even in the movie format, it still works. It's written to a point where like you kind of have to be not necessarily like laser focused on each character, but you need to make sure you're paying attention. And then once things take off in that third, that final third, it's straight balls to the wall. Like they step on the gas. As soon as that slap happens, you already know that shit going. You already know it's going down. Crash out imminent. And I was like, yeah, he's about to do something. I didn't know he was going to do that, but I was like,
I knew he was going to do that. I thought it was going to happen right there.
Yeah. Because when it's doing that long tracking shot as the sheriff is walking away, I was like, any moment now he's going to turn around and draw the pistol. But then I was like, no, there's too many witnesses, and it still feels like there's an hour left in this film. They can't go. It's not going to A24 that fast. It has to cook a little bit.
Mind you, we watched Friendship.
Because I've seen it, bro. I know A24 and especially Ari Aster's track record.
It's like
and
the way that he's able,
the way Ari Aster is able to take like what is a very simple premise of like the political divide of 2020 and just the antics of people in a small town and how they perceive the world and everything, and turn that up to the most satirically chaotic boiling point I have ever seen is amazing. It is quite good.
Before we get into like what the movie's about or like the themes that it plays with or basically what it touches on, I would just say that I think
they're touching on something in this movie.
Honestly, I mean this genuinely, and honestly, I think it is a ballsy move by Ari to make this movie. Whether it works
5 years too late.
Whether it works or not, or whether you like it or not, or whether you agree with what he's saying or not, I do think it took an awful lot of like not confident.
He's courageous.
He's not courageous.
Is so brave.
No,
give him the presidential medal.
No, that's not what I'm saying. He is ultimately still a white millionaire making movies for a living, right? So it is, kind of, and we'll talk about why that's kind of true to what this film is about. But I do think that somebody making a movie like this that talks about the things that it talks about in the day of our Lord 2025 in the current political climate that we're in right
2025.
now, and the current political climate that we're in right now, I do think is very like just ballsy, right? Because and I think of all the movies he could make, like AZ said, considering his track record, this is a pretty hard pivot. And I don't know. I'm glad I'm glad he tried something.
Yeah.
Whether it worked or not, and whether we liked it or not, I think is a different.
It feels to me a little bit like with the way that this movie is paced and how everything escalates. I don't know. I might be the only one of the pod who really likes the show, but the Fargo FX series kind of has the same energy as this.
I'm the only person who likes that incredibly critically acclaimed show.
Critically acclaimed, famous.
I remember.
You know that little show, well-known
FX show with a movie.
It was. I think I was talking. I think it was. I'm just misinterpreting a conversation we had a while ago about like one of the Chris Rock season or something.
That's the worst one. That's the worst season.
Yeah, but this feels very much as it has a Southwest Fargo variant feel to it, and
it's a hot Fargo.
It is a hot Fargo. Yeah, hot Fargo. It's actually the best way to classify this. I really do like how the conflict builds between Pedro and Joaquin's characters. It starts out in the most like minute way possible, and the mayor isn't like a hefty presence through the film, right? He's not a central antagonist, and neither really is Joaquin. Pretty much everybody in this film sucks to some degree. There's no true through line of a true hero or somebody who's like signaling their virtue the greatest, right? Ari Aster isn't trying to get you to pick sides, kind of. Yeah.
What did he really do?
He
tried to.
Somewhere in the, he's not.
You're asking what did Ted Garcia do?
No, he's saying what there's no. He said that there's
no true like.
They're all like
yeah, they're all flawed characters.
Yeah, they're all very flawed. Is what I mean. Is what I mean more. No, Ted's a corporate sellout. Gotta
make that money, baby.
I also like how, as much as I was cringing at the people who were like anti-mask and talking about like all the QAnon style rhetoric that we face today, I was also cringing very hard like when that little white girl got in the black cop's face and was like, "I'm not supposed to tell you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do because as a black man, why are you not sad?" I was gonna kill myself.
And there's a reason. There's a reason for that.
It was effective.
There's a reason for that. This film is a critique on society. It's a very obvious critique. It doesn't just sit on one side too. It goes on conservatism, liberalism, fake ass allyship, police brutality, police misconduct, misuse of department funds. There's so many different things, and I think that's one of the cultism. Yes, because he even had that one red hat that we did not mention.
How easily vulnerable people can fall to kind of like these extreme ideologies, right?
Yeah, these pipelines.
Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why I like it. You know, I like films that obviously I like the action and the sci-fi and the comics and all that. But like I like films that make you think and make you you know really analyze what's going on. I thought that Phoenician Scheme would be that. I was analyzing why the hell am I in this theater. But in contrast, prior to that, we watched another A24 joint, Friendship, which was another one where like, dang, this is good. You're analyzing the breakdown of this man's his supposed friendship with this other guy who's basically like, I don't want to fucking hang out with you. Anyway,
so rock with you.
Back to
Friendship is just matches him in this year and for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, basically.
But I see what you're saying, Matt, and I kind of agree with that. Like to piggyback off that point, not just Ari Aster, but also A24 themselves are good at taking these like small microcosms of like social interaction or just society in general and analyzing them on not just like a satirical lens and putting them on a pedestal for people to like really look at, you know, to be sort of objective, right? To be outside of that society that they're in and kind of look and see like, oh, maybe I am being a little bit ridiculous, right? In certain aspects. And I think this film does a really good job of that because while I will say if this came out like a couple years or maybe like 2 years at most earlier, I would have felt this hit a little bit harder. But I still think that it is effective for the time that we're in right now. I still think it's reasonably effective. Could it have been more effective released earlier? Yes, but it wasn't, and it's pretty good still.
You know what? I feel like even if it released earlier, it would still have a good impact. I just feel like there'd be a lot more focus on it because the pandemic was still fresh. That's not saying that's
still real.
Shit's not still going on. I mean, shit's still going on.
It's very much more
the initial blast. The initial waves of COVID. It was very much at the forefront of everyone's lives. The focal point of everyone's.
But this movie, I think what makes it so controversial or so kind of like not controversial, it's pretty split down the middle. Either you love it or you hate it. And Ari Aster's movies tend to be that, but I think this one more so. I just think it's that people are really upset at the fact that it critiques both, you know, right-wing extremism, obviously, but it kind of paints conservatives as kind of like, hey, they're not really as bad as you like. They're just still kind of like human beings, and guess what? And they just make decisions based on kind of like how they're brought up and their environment. It's nature versus nurture kind of thing, and they're not all really as terrible as you kind of think. And it also rags on liberals, white liberals specifically,
black square posters
on white liberals
talking about you.
On white liberals,
deleted mine after 10 minutes,
and it's kind of and it's kind of like, you know, all this performative allyship that you're doing is not really as great as you make it out to seem, and this holier than thou kind of attitude that you have towards
your
conservatives, to your opposition. It doesn't make you as good or as good a person as you think it does, and you know, and I really like the ideas and the themes that it was playing with and that it was balancing. I thought maybe it was a little bit how to balance the ideas and the themes that Ari was thinking about, and then making a coherent story, I think is kind of where this movie falls apart a bit. But I do want to take a quick moment to talk about kind of like the actors and the performances really quick, and how that ties into like what we're talking about and like the themes of the film. I think I really like Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. I think he's one of the best.
I was about to say, can I jump in real quick? I fucking hate Joaquin Phoenix as a person and as an actor. But I think I think he cooked here. I do. I'm famously a Joaquin hater, but I think he was he's great at bumbling and fucking losers.
Yeah,
I'm right there with him.
That's two people who have been turned this year. First, Graham from Man of Steel enjoyment to he's seen the light with Holy Saint David Corenswet. Gerardo was like, "Oh shit!"
No, I didn't see no light. I still don't like his other roles, but I think he did good.
Yeah, I'm also with Gerardo because like there's just something about Joaquin Phoenix that like I find is like the artsy antithesis to The Rock. Like I just want to punch him. I don't know why. I just don't like him. I just don't like him for some reason. I see him in a lot of things, and I find him quite. Yeah, and I find him quite like boring, right? Sometimes, all right. I don't find him as engaging.
Sorry.
In this
At least
role,
we did interrupt you. Go ahead.
In this role, I found he was more. I guess because he's playing a more down to earth type of guy. I found him much more palatable.
No, I think Joaquin Gerardo touched on it. He has this incredible aptitude for playing these kind of like what did we say pre-recording? These kind of
pathetic incels,
pathetic men.
Yeah,
he plays pathetic men. So
4chan dwellers.
You're Jerry's from Rick and Morty.
And
basically.
I think
it's not good.
And I think that's a very good in for this character and for this story. If you're trying to tell a story that's kind of like, hey guys, both sides are just as equally bad, really, if you think about it, and we spend the majority of the time with a character who's not a good guy and who does these horrific and atrocious things come the end of the movie, then you need to have I'm not saying he needs to be endearing or you need to feel some sort of empathy for him, but you feel bad for him.
But I think it's important that you feel empathy for him because
at the very least. Yeah.
Because you understand why he's allowed himself. Me and my friend watched this movie together, and we're talking about how I think it shows the radicalization of inept men and how they cling to anything that gives them power. Because this guy's a sheriff, right? But we see that in his home life, he is nothing. He has no power there. He has no say. He's sad. He has no respect. He's lonely, and he goes in and he makes a scene about this mask mandate, and all of a sudden people are cheering. They're
respecting him.
He says, "How do I get more of this? How do I get more of this? How do I get more?" It's
that
a high.
Dopamine.
That is such a good metaphor for conservatism in general.
Yeah,
because a lot of these people are just looking for acceptance and community, and sadly, where they find it in this hate groups and this
and then.
And they find
and then also
people
and
they say, okay, well, this is who I am now. This is where I am.
And you also have like the opposite side, right? When you have like how it critiques liberalism with like the very exceedingly performative virtual signaling to where they all are parroting the same points. Like one of my favorite lines in this, it's not even really a joke, but it is genuinely just hilarious to me. Every time that they chanted out of nowhere from the top rope, "This is stolen land," when it had nothing to do with the conversation. I laughed. I actively cackled. It's incredible. I love that.
And I think there's and the character Brian, I think it's two sides of the same coin, right? He likes this girl who's this progressive liberal white girl, and in order to try to get her attention, he adopts these kind of liberal ideologies, right? And he starts marching for Black Lives Matter, and then when the shit that hits the fan happens, and at the end of the movie, he turns and he does his grifting era, and it just kind of, and I just think. And although I wish we would have spent more time, we would have spent more time with that character, and we could have spent more time with his arc and kind of exploring him and what kind of led him to him. Exactly, and kind of what led him to that. It's very obvious and apparent what like Ari is trying to say, you know. And I think I do. The fact that that this movie even exists is crazy to me, you know. The fact that we have because these are things that we know, right? If you're socially or politically kind of conscious, if you're politically or socially like conscious in today's day and age, these are things you're aware of, right? You know the liberals are performative, you know the conservatives are mostly grifters, you know that it's easy for incels and these kind of lonely and socially inept men who feel less than really gravitate towards right-wing conservatism and extremism because of that inadequacy that they feel within themselves. And liberals are holier than thou attitude towards conservatives and towards poor people really does not help anybody.
Only pushes
them further right. You know, so mixing that and then adding, you know, getting to spoilers, adding the fact that you know, there's an Antifa kind of terrorist organization flying in a private jet to Eddington, and they're actually terrorists who are kind of there to stoke this kind of division amongst the tensions amongst the outside agitators.
That was the point in the movie when it did that shot of them on the private jet where I was like, are they no, okay, they are. Cool.
I turned to my friend. I was like, dude, the guys who did January 6th are there. I said, no.
Dude, in the back of my head, all I thought was like, Alex Jones is somewhere just like, I knew it.
Alex Jones says this is a confession.
This is a biography.
Exactly. No, but I think that's very. But I think
that was great.
As like cheesy and corny as this sound, I think him adding that is very like important, right? Because he's just like, look at these things, look at how fucking ridiculous and stupid we all are for all these things that we believe and all these things that we stand for, and it's like and he's like, and then ultimately how the movie ends in the final shot of the film, how it zooms out of Eddington, right, and we see the big AI magic
solid
card.
Gold magic card. What the fuck kind of name? First,
the big AI kind of data center or whatever be built.
The machine learning place.
Yeah. The machine learning thing. Right.
Naming your AI Grok.
Exactly. He's just like, oh look, guys, remember, it's actually corporations and artificial intelligence, and these are the things that are gonna fuck us if we keep fighting over stupid shit.
Yes, exactly.
And so it's, you know, so it's just kind of like, I get it, Ari. I think your filmmaking is incredible. I think like there's that one shot at the end, like in the final third of the movie, where Joe walks out of the gun store and he has that fucking actually it's when he's got the rifle in his hands and the camera keeps doing like a 180
when he's
when he's checking 360 around him, and it's like checking from one side all the way to the other, and then swirls
the
all the way
shot
back around. Yes,
I was waiting.
And it's incredible, and it's like, Ari, I know what you're doing. Like, you're an incredible filmmaker. You know, so
back it up a little bit. That shot, even after he shot the homeless man, there's a shot where it's him dragging the body from like where the bar, and it switches to the vehicle. I'm like, these are the things I notice when I watch movies, and I enjoy seeing artistry. You know, and that doesn't mean that like.
I mean, Darius Kanji shot this movie. Darius Kanji, one of the best working filmmakers. He shot Seven. He shot Midnight in Paris.
God, yes.
He shot Bardo. He shot Mickey 17. He shot Uncut Gems. So he's like,
these are very different movies.
Very different, but they all look great.
Also, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, with the cinematography, right? But just the way shots are framed to give emphasis to the narrative, I thought was pretty interesting. Like there was a large amount of use of like wide and establishing shots for locations and even conversations, right? Not all of them are up close and personal. It's just this wide, bigger picture thing to let you know that while these two people in this moment are disagreeing, and while they are having this argument, while they do have this conflict and these opposing views, the bigger world is still existing. The bigger picture is still a big problem, right? And also the multiple times where like something just a little bit strange would happen in the town that would lead to like a bigger mystery or a bigger setup, right? And it would be the sheriff standing by his car, and it would do like a slight just amount of framing where it has him on the right side, but on the left side, there's that sticker that says "You are being deceived" in multiple shots. I was like, oh yeah,
it says "your" and it's spelled
Y-O-U-R.
You're being manipulated.
Yeah, you're being manipulated.
You're being manipulated.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that because as much as he knows that there is something going on, he doesn't realize he's also kind of fucking himself over in the long run. I like that.
I also will mention really quickly that I think the casting of Emma Stone and Austin Butler was great. I think those are two really good actors. Austin Butler's on the rise, and Emma Stone's kind of like an established kind of mainstay. And I think the roles that he gave them and the fact that they're in this so little, but I it's one of the things that bothered me about the movie. I think they're great. I think that part of the story is great. I would have much rather have seen that movie than what we ended up getting. I like the kind of like and that's another kind of like idea that he threw in there. He's like, isn't it funny how he's like, oh look, weird pedophile sex rings that kind of run the world and everybody's involved, and you know, like it's like,
yeah, that sounds like a good movie. He's like, oh, it's actually in the background.
Yeah, he's like, it's actually in the background. Exactly.
I'm gonna tailgate off that one too because I feel like that could have been the second third of this movie. Like it could have helped establish more of his crash out.
Her falling into Austin's cult.
Exactly.
I also
leaving him for the cult. He's going fucking crazy at home. Like, why is my wife leaving me? I'm running for mayor. I need support. Blah blah blah. I was also, the mayor slapped me. I'm gonna shoot this son of a bitch.
I guess it's just because I'm a sucker for like weird inclusions of like cults or giant groups of clandestine people. But I was really hoping the cult would be a bigger.
Why do you like cults? Explain.
I don't know, but you should come to a meeting. Come to a meeting next week, and don't ever put that evil on me. But but I was thinking like the whole time. I kind of wish that the cult was a bigger part of the movie. I think it's also because I like Austin Butler and almost anything he's in. But like, that cult, and then those two like weird sidekicks he has that just say nothing. I was like, what's going on here? There's something interesting there. I want to know more about that. But even Ari's like, no, that's not what we came for. But I was like, oh, come on.
No, but even
that's my only nitpick.
Even the way Ari handles that character in that story and that kind of subplot, he's just like, oh, and then he makes Joe be like, oh, you escaped by yourself. Which so the point was for them to hunt you, but they let you go. And he's like, well, that's part of their game is that they fell in love with me, and I didn't escape. I didn't escape by myself.
And fall in love.
Exactly. And it speaks to kind of like people's kind of like
the Elvis accent came out.
People's kind of like love and obsession for people in power and these kind of like higher beings. And when you're longing and searching, you feel lost and you kind of, just fall for the dumbest shit and the dumbest motherfucker who says
the sound of freedom core.
Yeah, exactly. The sweetest thing to you, guide, to guide you to kind of like liberty. It's like, again, a lot of really cool ideas that he kind of keeps dropping in there and just kind of messing with. I will just say Pedro Pascal incredibly underutilized in this movie. What are we doing?
Like always. When we talked about it, why the fuck do we always put Pedro in movies just to fucking kill him?
Look, I'm just saying, let him once again, cook, 2 nickels. 2 nickels. I've seen Pedro Pascal die on screen twice this year. That's 2 nickels I have. That's crazy. Stop doing it. Stop it. Pedro Pascal is one of the most talented actors of our generation. I personally believe that. I count him as our. I want to claim him. All right. He's awesome. I would definitely claim Pedro, but he's so incredibly talented, and he has this, and he's not even like a niched actor, right? He doesn't have that Giancarlo Esposito typecast thing going on to where he's an incredible actor, but he's getting put in the same roles. He has the range, he's displayed it, but they're like, no, we're going to kill him because we can. Like, what the hell? Come on, dude, please.
They just don't know how to use him. Also, all these motherfuckers on TikTok and Twitter, they're not are being weird and saying that we're overexposed to Pedro Pascal. Fuck you. He's been working for decades. He was a broke actor for 20 years of his professional career, making no fucking money, being obscure as shit. He almost quit because he was in his fucking 30s. He was thinking about going to nursing school. God forbid a motherfucker who became successful in his 40s decides to work. Suck my fucking dick. You guys are stupid as shit. Who cares? Go bitch
You're
about
jealous, bro.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
How about you go overexpose yourself to some sunlight and
to some bitches?
How about that?
Overexpose yourself to some bitches. How about that?
Some grass, some fresh air. It's out there.
Overexpose yourself to a 45 ACP.
God forbid, God forbid a motherfucker who's been acting his entire life and has been a working actor for his entire life all of a sudden blows up and starts getting cast.
Yeah, they act like he wasn't getting like general dog shit roles for 30 years.
Exactly.
Also, now people like him. Like, obviously, they're gonna put him in more shit. Yeah, people love him.
And also to hit on Pedro, to hit on Pedro's performance. Also, Pedro with the mask on does what I like to call micro acting, which I've only seen. Yeah. Okay. Let me have the term.
No, I like it. I like that you're making new terms. I fuck with it.
Micro acting is an actual thing. I swear it has to be. But he does really good micro acting moments where his mannerisms and his facial expressions when he has the mask. As much as I agree with like the whole mask mandate and everything going on during COVID, and even in this movie, I was like, dude, just put on the fucking mask. The way that he was saying it made me feel like he doesn't even believe it or know what he's talking about, and it felt very performative and very passive aggressive, right? And he felt like a little douchebag, and I was like, "Oh, Pedro, I love it."
But the unhoused person lodge and kind of that through line throughout the film is also kind of indicative of how both conservatives and liberals are the exact same two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
Look at how Ted Garcia handles the unhoused person in his bar, and how he kind of has to call the cops because he does not see this person as a human, or he sees them as less than and as a nuisance and as a burden.
When he's just standing at the door.
And then Joe does the same thing. He sees him as less than, as subhuman, and gets rid of him. And he sees him as a way to get rid of all this anger and frustration. Right. You wouldn't do that to a normal someone who you deem as an equal or a human being, you know. So it's like two sides of the same coin: liberalism and conservatism, and we're all pretty much the same. We're all fuck corporations are gonna fuck us in the ass. Stop fighting is basically what Ari Aster is saying.
Even like how Joaquin Phoenix's character, how the sheriff tries at first to, I guess, unite the people, right? To stick up for the little guy, but it's really just to feed his own ego, right? At the very beginning, you see the mayor in the bar when the bar is supposed to be closed, and he's like, I'm using it for city purposes, but he's just using it to booze up some tech bros and clients, appropriating the very resources of the people he's supposed to be helping. I love how flawed each and every section of the society in this film is. And as opposed to me, who is a very, I would say, a rather liberal person, right? I'm a neurodivergent immigrant queer person of color. I've said the spell words to short circuit every person over 50 watching this video, right?
Bro,
I'm genuinely a buzzword with legs, right? And for me, this film didn't feel like it was laughing or pointing at me or talking down to me, right? I looked at this the same way I would look at like my high school yearbook, of looking back at how stupid the society was and how I even acted around 2020. Because man, it's a fun lens. It's a fun look back.
Well, I think I talked to Gerardo about this yesterday. And how when I coming out of it, I felt kind of uncomfortable and I felt like it was punching down. But the more I think about it, I think it's quite the opposite. I think it's inverse. I think the fact that Ari Aster is a progressive white man, right, poking fun at progressive white liberals.
You're right. And he is courageous.
And no, that's not what I'm saying.
White savior.
I'm saying no. What I'm saying is that the people that he was making fun of are well within his scope of knowledge to make fun of, right?
His peers, essentially.
Exactly. If he would have tried to say anything about black people or queer people or other people of color in any meaningful way, I think we would have had I would have had a lot more problems with the movie. But I think because
it would have felt a little tone deaf, yeah.
Exactly. But I think because it focuses specifically on white performative allyship, and he is a white progressive person, I think that's kind of well within his scope of practice and okay for him to do. So it doesn't feel like it's punching down or mean-spirited at all. I think it's kind of informative and kind of, not brave or courageous, but important to bring to light.
Yeah.
I also do like the inclusion of Native American people's respect to those who are the true indigenous folks of this country. It's unfortunate that the one of two Native American characters in this movie got blasted, and it's right when he's about to solve the fucking crime. My goat, I was so pissed. It does have a lot of good moving parts, and this is what good filmmaking is about. Again, I know we say it every episode, just about every episode. Let competent people cook. I think Ari Aster is competent. He's shown his competency in the past. It's not something we're unaware of. It's just another. I think my exact tweet was, Ari Aster, you son of a bitch, he done did it again. Because he done did it again. So we know A24 and their brand. They're known for making really, really provocative, thought-provoking films. This is nothing new. But I just wish that I hope this doesn't get swept under the rug in terms of, like, look at the time where it's been released. It's in the middle of Superman and Fantastic Four, and F1 is still in theaters. I hope people go still see this film regardless.
And Jurassic World.
Go watch it.
But if you have a choice,
don't mention
watch F1.
Yeah,
I didn't say
have
that.
a better time. I did.
Now, I also hadn't realized this until Matt reminded me. We can do like ratings in a second, but I just remembered the way that every single there's like two like prime minority groups in this film aside from the Latino mayor and his family, but there is a black cop and then there is a Native American, I guess. He's Native American police. He's like for the tribal land, essentially.
Yeah, they're like next to a reserve, I think.
And while every single white person in this film says some variation of stolen land or tells the black guy like, hey, you should do something with your voice, right? You have this influence, right? This, that, and the third. Neither of those people in the minority groups ever say anything about those issues because everybody else around them who's not even affiliated with that group at all is so much louder.
But they're the
two
most grounded, well-adjusted people in the whole film.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. I like that.
They know and understand that saying that these slogans or these words mean nothing unless action is done or made or brought. Change unless change is brought up. If you don't bring about change, then me speaking these words means absolutely nothing. And they know that because they're black and indigenous, and they understand the societal kind of
exactly. Telling a minority that oppression goes on is like telling fire that it's hot. Like it's fucking stupid. We know. We're painfully aware.
And that was a very neat and kind of interesting thing about it as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the movie was very well focused on focusing on the characters that it did focus on. And I think the mayor, Ted Garcia, being Latino and Hispanic, and his son being a complete piece of shit as well, I think is kind of like a part of that minutia as well. That that kind of complicated history. And Ari Aster's from New Mexico. I think that's where he grew up. So it's like he is speaking from a place of like of knowledge. This is very true to him in a sense. I don't know where he was or what he was doing during COVID, but it seems like he knows these people, like he lived a lot of these things, and he kind of is writing and making this film from those experiences, adding his Ari Aster flair to it, of course. But I don't know, man. I think not the worst movie I've seen in 2025. That's for sure.
Okay, Luis, it seems like you have the most positivity to say about this, and you've had time to chew and meditate on it. So while we're going into ratings, what would you rate this out of 5 stars? What would you put this at?
Out of 5 stars, I'll give it 3 stars. 3 out of 5 stars. 3.5 stars, I think, around there. And fluctuates depending on where I'm feeling. But I'll give it 3 stars, I think, is where I'm at.
Fair. Who's next? Anybody? Anybody else?
Gerardo, what you got?
Gerardo, how do you feel?
I like it more than Beau is Afraid. At a 5-star, like 2.5. I think it was a bit too long. I think a lot of the ideas were half-baked and not properly developed. I think what Matt said was a really good point. It should have been a series. If Mike Flanagan didn't refuse to hire like the same fucking cast for every show, this could have happened and we could have gotten a much more cohesive story. And it would have been way better. And Ari Aster wouldn't have had to be involved. And I think it would have been much better.
That's blasphemous.
15 episode season.
Respectfully, because I like Hereditary. I like
what?
Midsummer. His only miss is Beau is Afraid. And this just, it feels undercooked to me.
You don't know ball, bro.
I think, honestly, that the point that we've had about how this might be paced a little bit better as a series, I feel that. And calling it Hot Fargo, which really has me thinking.
Fargo.
Dry heat Fargo.
Humidity Fargo.
I want to give this a 3, but that length sometimes does feel a little bit cumbersome. I will say it does feel a little bit at some parts where I'm like,
if it did more with its length,
exactly.
And if it expounded more on specific beats, like we said about the cults, instead of it just being in the background,
exactly,
it would have been much better.
Exactly. I think because while this
film needs more girth.
I had mentioned something about this movie being it's stupid, and I'm not the first person to say this, but I think this movie is a mirror, right? And it's like it reflects onto the audience,
to you maybe,
to everybody. It's like what you take of it.
Man. I never shot the mayor of my town.
No, bitch, it's a mirror to the audience, right?
Black Lives Matter.
But it does make you think, and these conversations are uncomfortable conversations that are meant and supposed to be had, and it is.
Matter.
Although I don't think successful, I do think it does kind of bring to light the fact that we should start thinking a little bit more as a class conscious society as opposed to a politically conscious one, or at least
one more towards eugenics, but in a leftist way.
At least ones that aren't divided along political party lines. You know. What about you, man? So what'd you give it?
I just feel like there's a lot of length to this movie, and I'm not complaining the movie's too long. I've seen fucking both Dune movies; those are like 3.5 hours.
You literally just said it's too long.
But no, it's what it does with its length. I don't feel is fully being utilized. There's multiple elements that it could have dived deeper in, but it kind of pussyfoots around them in hopes that the audience will discuss them. Right, but I don't know. I just feel like it puts the ball too much in my court. I'm like, give me a little bit more.
But I was gonna say, think about it this way: it's a town that's small and kind of abandoned. It's during COVID.
Right.
That length and that kind of like lack of action or lack of stuff going on kind of makes it feel. It gives you this uneasy, kind of anxious, anxiety-inducing feeling that COVID
here's the thing,
did during that time.
Here's the thing, though. But here's the thing, though, right? It's a good contrast. But because I know A24 and I know Ari Aster, right? Hereditary is my favorite horror film to this day. I fucking love that movie, right? I would say that the payoff for when the balls goes to the walls was very much worth it. So for that reason, I give this a 3.
It's almost like it's 3 out of 5. It's almost like it's purposeful, AZ. That's
slow. The slow burn. Granted, at some points the slow burn felt like it could have done a little bit more to keep my interest, but that's just how I felt. That is how I felt. Yeah.
Graham said cartoon.
AZ
said cartoon.
It's 3. It's a 3 out of 5.
I will offer a counter to what AZ said. I forgot what he was saying. I lost my point. My bad.
Wow.
Go ahead and rate it.
There was something you said that triggered a thought in my head.
Let it out.
Something about Something about because
moving more with what you have.
Yes, it's a slow burn. Yes, it's a long film. And while I agree that it could have been reworked, like the middle portion of the film could have been reworked to tell more about the cult stuff and different aspects of the film, or dive deeper into Ted Garcia, something like that. I still think it's a very complete film. It still makes you. That's the point of movies. You know, you got to think Sometimes I like movies like F1 where car go brr, you know, that shit goes crazy. That should make me. It's like putting the laser pointer in front of a cat. But at the same time, I also like films that are gonna make my head, you know, the brain juices start functioning, and that's why I give this film a 3. It's not gonna get a 4 for me because that's reserved for like Warfare and Mickey 17.
God
Mickey
damn
17
right.
4.5. You know, banger films like absolutely. I can't deny it. Now my rating,
Mickey 17 4.5.
I gave it a 4. I think I gave it
That
a
was
4.
a 5. You're right.
I think it was like a 4 and a 4.5. Yeah. But for this film, I gave it, when I walked out there, I said that's a solid 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. So my rating would be like a 3-star, 3.5 on Letterboxd. It did drag, but that's only because there were points were mentioned that never got expounded upon. And I don't know if that's because they're like, oh well, we have this other story we're trying to tell. We don't want to get too off the rails here.
Too much off the path.
Fuck it, dude. Go off the rails. We don't need rails. Where
it
I
did.
Come from,
that last went off the rails.
They did go off the rails.
That drone was a surprise.
They tied grenades to the railroad track and blew that shit up. That's exactly what happened.
Before we move on, I just want to say that the last 45 minutes to an hour, the last 45 minutes of the movie, I think just really shows like what a great filmmaker Ari is, and the fact that he can tackle any genre and can literally make any movie he wants. Because I think his technicality, I think, is so like impressive. Like it's just good because when it makes that jump, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then you're locked. You're like that meme where you just lean forward in the seat. You're just like, I'm locked in. It sucks that we had to wait 2 hours for that to, or an hour and 45 minutes for that to happen. But I think it just indicative of the kind of the incredible filmmaker that he is, and the fact that he can just keep giving him blank checks, let him make whatever the fuck he wants.
You know what?
That's just
he's an incredible filmmaker.
He's fantastic.
I say he's fantastic. God damn it! Why are we all the same neuron, bro? We're all doing the same segue.
He's a fantastic filmmaker.
I was going for that, or like, even though the film is a slow burn, those first steps are really important. That was gonna be good. Fuck you. That was fuck you. We're talking about Fantastic Four now. All right, Fantastic Four is coming out.
This is my segue. That's my segue. I'm not even gonna say shit.
All those sausages down.
Speaking of hell yeah. Speaking of Pedro Pascal, Daddy Pedro back, baby.
Whoa,
back
chill on the daddy. Chill on the daddy.
Nah, that's my goat.
That man is a thespian and an artist.
That's my goat.
All right, that's Sir Pedro Pascal. You freak.
That's the legend. Man, look, don't let me glaze my king.
But this movie, we've had a little bit of a debate about, a little bit of a debacle, right?
A debacle.
We've said between this and Superman are the two biggest comic book movies of the year. All right, and which one will come out on top? Who's to say? I've seen Superman 6 times. I have not seen Fantastic Four that many yet.
Fucking insane.
That's crazy.
All in the theaters, right?
Yes.
I love this bit. This bit is incredible.
For legal purposes, he has seen all these films in the theaters.
In theaters.
Every single one.
I won't name which theater, but he's in the theaters.
They're there. Just go on Google Maps, find a town with a theater in it, and I'm probably there. But
he's there.
This movie I will be seeing in about literally 24 hours. I have a midnight showing Thursday.
That's fucking crazy.
We're going into Friday.
That's hey, hold on. No. See that, Marvel? That's our commitment.
That's right.
He's watching.
Send us to the premiere next year.
When Doomsday come out, I'm waiting for an email from Kevin. Big Kevo. Our inbox, bro.
Now
we need
but none of us have any bearing on this. Matt, you've seen Superman how many times? It was like three or four? But around that?
I gotta do the thing.
4. We've seen it 3. Gerardo, how many times have you seen it?
Just twice.
I've seen it twice.
Just twice? Okay. So
Gerardo
and Luis are normal people.
That's because we go to the theater.
That is true. That is true.
I went to the theater.
I mean, we also go to the theater. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah. And so far, the only member of the core who has seen this is David, because he's our industry insider man, and he says He says, according to him, who's mostly wrong a lot of the time, but is sometimes right.
Very often wrong.
He says it's slightly better than Superman. It hits just a little bit harder.
Well,
now
here's a couple of reviews. Rotten Tomatoes, bullshit ass fucking website aggregator.
We don't trust them. Give me someone I trust.
It's stupid ass IGN.
It's 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. IGN gave it a 7 out of 10, and RogerEbert.com gave it a 3.5 out of 4. Those are just the top 3 that come out whenever you look it up on the internet. Honestly, that's as good as you could expect. Like
for a comic book movie, it's been reviewed twice.
Not only comic book movie, Marvel recently.
Marvel Fantastic Four movie, I think. So when we're talking about this movie, like we've talked about it a lot. We've talked about kind of our expectations for it. It comes out this week. We will be watching it, and our review will go up next week. But it's like, what do I don't know? What are we kind of expecting from this? What do we want from this? What do we think this means? Is this the most important movie for Marvel to date? Or
yes.
What do we think?
Let me step in on this one.
Go forth, man.
Because what I'm seeing here, hashtag Shacked up, hashtag Shacked a fool. Matt Shackman is the right man to take this Fantastic Four film to the levels it needs to be. The way Superman opened up, we already have metahumans established in this universe. We don't need to retell the entire story of him coming from Krypton to Earth. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we don't get a rehashing of the Fantastic Four backstory. We already know what happens.
They're established.
It's going to be established.
They're very. I saw the first look on Hulu, and if that is what I'm thinking it is, which is like the first few minutes, right? Using that setup of them on the talk show is a really good way to get past exposition. It's less tedious than like a news broadcast or some fucking text scrolling, right? Because you would want to introduce your host, even if people, or your guests on a talk show, even if everybody knows who they are, right?
Yeah, it's a good device.
Somehow don't. It's very diegetic. It blends in very well with the story and the surrounding world around.
I also think
it's good.
I also think it says a lot that Matt Shackman is the guy who's MCU has entrusted to bring the X-Men
onto
the big screen in the MCU. I think that says a lot. I think we know how important the X-Men are to the MCU, and we know that is going to make or break the next.
That's the linchpin of everything.
Yes, that's going to make or break the next 10, 15 years of the MCU. If this works, that's a step in the right direction. We know Marvel's still got the juice. It'll hold us over until Doomsday. If those work, we're good until Secret Wars, and we can reboot and bring the X-Men into the fold. That's fine, and that's as good as it's going to get. If X-Men does not work, can the whole fucking thing. If X-Men if X-Men works, MCU's cooking for another 10 or 15 years. And the fact that Kevin Feige, the MCU, is aware of this and knows their importance and has tapped Matt Shackman as the creative
every fucking time.
They have tapped him as the man to kind of bring the X-Men, I think, to the big screen. I think says a lot. And it speaks to the quality of this film and their confidence in the film and that filmmaker.
And just like Luis is saying, man, with the X-Men, the thing is, with how many mutants are in Marvel, the X-Men and the mutant population make up essentially the entirety of Marvel's roster in the long run. They are deep. Even people who aren't mutants get retconned to be mutants, like Miss Marvel.
Just because it's easier.
Just because it's easier. It makes sense. People are born with powers, boom, mutant, throw them with the X-Men, right? And the X-Men, especially with the Christopher Claremont era, focus a lot on like the family and inner working soap opera dynamic, right? There's a very large social aspect. We saw that with shows like X-Men 97 and the original X-Men cartoons, right? So for me, seeing what he does with the Fantastic Four and their family dynamic, I think will give us not necessarily like a end-all be-all on how the X-Men will interact as a family or as a team, but I think that group dynamic will get a good insight to with this film. Also, this world is lived in. It has its own villains, like we've seen in the trailer. We have the fucking Red Ghost. The Red Ghost is just an old bald man with monkeys.
That guy's name is
Gigantor.
From the Little Caesars commercial. What's that fucker's called? What's that guy called?
Galactus?
Gargantor?
From the Little Caesars commercial. I don't know. It's a big guy.
The Thing?
But yeah, There's a lot of like classic, like really.
Hold on.
There's a lot of, but when it comes to like golden age or like silver age villains, right? That old school Jack Kirby, Stan Lee aesthetic, right? The Fantastic Four's Rogues Gallery is one of the best representations of that. And the the retro futuristic aesthetic that they're going with, I think, is really going to cater well to that silver age pocket.
Giganto.
I'm really excited for Giganto. Yeah, Giganto. But
yeah.
But
you
also,
know what I'm looking forward to the most about
what are you looking
Fantastic
forward to?
Four movie?
Pedro's butt looks in that suit.
But I just want them to finally. I hope this movie's awesome and it solidifies Pedro Pascal as a movie star moving forward, so people can shut the fuck up about how he's being put in shit that doesn't matter. Like he's been Marvel already said that he's the face of the MCU for the next couple of years. He's gonna be leading the Avengers and Doomsday.
I won. All of y'all.
He's the Robert Downey Jr. essentially. Can suck my dick from the back.
And also, those same people cannot complain because those are the same people who any single time that Tom Holland was even mentioned post Spider-Man, they're like, put him in this, put him in that, put him in a Reese's commercial, put him in anything, put him in Selma. Like, I'm sick and tired. I don't care.
He would have been a great MLK, for being honest.
Oh my god, Ryan Gosling, Black Panther type shit.
I think, but honestly, I think the MCU is in dire need of a big success. I think Thunderbolts was a step in the right direction, but those characters in that story are too insignificant, too small
scale,
very niche
to matter much.
Right.
You know, I think people are familiar with the Fantastic Four. They're familiar with those two okay movies and one atrocious, horrendous pile of dog shit. That they're I think alive in the public consciousness enough to want to check this out. If this is good, like we said, it holds us over until next year, until Doomsday comes out, and they need this win bad.
Especially
they need this win bad
because Doomsday is going to be ass.
Doomsday
is no script.
On the heels,
they've been filming for like 4 months at least.
It's all just like a Roxbury improv class.
Dude, they've only filmed the quips for the movie, and they're gonna build the story around the quips.
All we've seen is the cast hanging out and like having a good time. That's all we see.
We saw chairs.
They're like, oh, y'all don't know what weekends are, bitch.
Bitches
on the tail end of, I would say, the turning point in comic book films, which is Superman 2025. I know. I'm just touching on it real quick. I think this film brings back what comic book movies should be. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's hopeful. And so far, what I've seen of Fantastic Four does look bright. It does look vibrant. Does it look hopeful? No, because apparently them motherfuckers gonna lose. So I don't feel like
allegedly,
I don't know. We're gonna see in a couple of days. But Superman, as big as Superman is, it's a tough act to follow, and Marvel has to hit this one on the head, not just for the future of the MCU, but for the right now. Because everyone's been saying Marvel's dead, Marvel's trash, Marvel's this, Marvel's that. The real question we need to ask after seeing this is Marvel back? Is Marvel going to be back after this? And I, for one,
hashtag Marvel back shots.
Mute him. Mute that guy.
Soundboard this nigga. Soundboard him.
What
Soundboard
the fuck are you talking about, man?
Do we want to give We've done it like 6 times. But do y'all want to give a hype rating for this movie?
Matt. What were you gonna finish saying, my bad?
I was just saying, like, because if everyone's been saying how, like, oh, we got this MCU fatigue and it's not MCU fatigue. We got subpar projects.
We got bad movies.
James Gunn said it best.
We got attempts.
Yeah.
What did James Gunn say?
He said we have bad movie fatigue. He said we have like half-ass. I'm paraphrasing, right? But he said we've had like
quote James Gunn
4 films. He said it has nothing to do with the fact that they're superhero movies. It's the fact that they are not good movies and they happen to be superhero movies. Because we came out, this happens like every fucking 2 months at this point. They're like we go from a cycle of, oh, we're so done, oh, we're so back, oh, we're so cooked, oh, we're so back, oh, we're so cooked, we're so back.
No,
and it's not.
That's actually true.
It's not that we have fatigue. It's that they're rushing the movies, which James Gunn said, He said they're rushing them and they're not giving them the care and the work they deserve.
The best thing that could have happened. Move forward with the we'll fix it in post mentality, and I think that's majorly hurt their tracks.
Yeah,
like in the past couple of years with their,
especially because they don't pay their fucking artists.
Well, also the best thing that could have happened was the streaming bubble bursting, because now, I mean, that's part of the reason why the MCU was in so much trouble, because they're like, Disney Plus is a thing, and now we have to provide content so we can put on the streaming service, and they were spread way too thin. And it was about quality, it was about quantity, not quality. Right, because now they had five MCU shows.
That's how we got
3 movies, and then we got 3 fucking movies in a row, and they were all most mediocre to bad. Very occasionally we get something that was decent or okay. So I think the fact that now that streaming
Moon Knight
streaming bubble has burst. And the fact that we got Captain America earlier this year, we getting Fantastic Four, and then we don't have a movie until next year, which is Doomsday. And that got pushed back to December. So that's the
the Avatar, Doomsday, Doomvatar, Fire and
the Avadoom.
Avadoom.
How'd you know my nickname from high school?
Hire me, Marvel. Avadoom.
But
Fire and Doom.
But also, I do feel you on that. It is 1000% better that the streaming bubble bursts, Luis, like you were saying, because Marvel movies, right? Like I'm a fan of Marvel, right? I love the comics, right? I love just pretty much everything since I was a kid. But I've been following it for the better part of having 2 decades worth of experience under my belt with following Marvel, right? Going into these movies, I have the background of the lore, right? I'm used to the rules of comic book worlds and shit. So all the things that a general audience member would have fly over their heads, I can get into. But I will say for, people outside of that medium, it is a daunting task. You have these decades of lore. Same thing with like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? You have a decade and a half worth of films to sort through, and no one wants to view a franchise that they should love as homework. So when they were spreading that audience over to streaming and being like, watch the TV too, they were spreading their audience too thin and not putting that concerted effort that they should have. What
ended up happening was people were like, I can't follow this. You missed 1 or 2 projects.
Exactly.
So I'll just stop watching the whole fucking thing.
That's why
Superman did so good, because you don't have to know. Obviously, like I said, Superman's a very iconic hero. I mean, I don't know anyone who doesn't know his backstory. If you don't know for some reason, you don't need to know. You don't need to know all that detail in this movie. It's just he exists. He's a superhero. Superheroes are here, and I think that's what Fantastic Four is going to do. The same thing. You don't need to do homework. You don't need to watch 52 different films and shows to understand that this is a film about a stretchy man, an invisible woman, a fireman, and a rock man.
Yeah,
like it's that bare bones
about a family. Yeah,
about a family.
The Marvel project was beautiful and it was perfect, and we'll never see anything like it ever again. And it worked, and that ended with Doomsday, right? I mean, with Endgame. That ended with Endgame.
Tony Stark.
I know, my bad. That ended with Endgame. What the MCU needs to do now is go back to making self-sustained stories.
Yes, bro.
Exactly. None of these giant overwhelming arcs.
Those solo films that turn into independent trilogies. That at the end, if you have maybe you want to launch them into the bigger universe, cool.
Yes.
I hope that Brand New Day sets a new trilogy for Spider-Man where you get street level films.
Yes.
Of him doing street level shit. Save it. We just saw Superman save a squirrel. Get Spider-Man helping niggas getting carjacked and bike jacked. It goes
like,
bro.
They act like I was gonna say, not only that, they act like the only.
Go ahead, he's done.
They act like the only. New York. I love New York. Not really. Vote Mom Donnie.
All right, go ahead, Adel. Go.
Nah, bro, I'm about to mute myself.
Go, he's letting you speak.
I know. What I was gonna say is they act like Spider-Man needs to be next to these
Tony Stark,
deities,
gods of the Marvel universe, when they have this incredible roster of street level heroes. You want them to team up? That's fine, dude. We have Jessica Jones, one of the best 2 first seasons of.
God, I love Kristen Ritter. I love Kristen
so
Ritter so much.
Daredevil. We have Daredevil. We have Punisher, which he's going to show up, right? And they're going to. That's a great foil to.
Ooh, after Born Again, I don't know, brother.
If they bother to write this,
y'all could keep that shit.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, there's a bunch of street level heroes. We can have them interact with fucking Miss Marvel. Okay,
exactly.
Like, they have.
Luke Cage.
There can be team ups. There can be smaller teams. We can get fucking Red Team in the fucking MCU now.
You know what? You know what you could even do, actually. You Gerardo, to piggyback off that point, you could use all the shit Spider-Man's face where they try to make him from like a guy who patrols the neighborhood or like the island of Manhattan in New York at large to a fucking Green Lantern, right? Use him getting overwhelmed at every single fucking facet by all this crazy shit. And have him be like, I need to just stay in my fucking lane. I'm too overwhelmed. I'm a kid. I was overwhelmed with every single thing that's been happening. I tore a hole in the multiverse. I got my aunt killed. I need to dial it back. I got my street level nigga.
I got my sexy aunt killed. Very important connotation.
Not really an important distinction. Anyway, we'll allow it.
But the one from the originals, not sexy. This one,
you know what I?
That is a matter of
disagree.
That is a matter of opinion.
All I know is John Bernthal
but have them, but basically use that.
Odysseus. What do you know?
But basically,
yeah. What do you know about Odysseus?
You know what I know
about your father?
When you put these clans down.
Okay, we're getting so off track. Let me
tell you something. Spider Boy.
So fucking much.
I was in that horse with your dad, Spider Boy. I was in that horse with your dad, Spider Boy.
You ever heard of Pandora, Spider Boy?
He sees a Cyclops in the Odyssey. He starts running. He sees the Cyclops in the Odyssey. He's like, "What is that? What is this?"
I hate that so much.
What's that?
What is that?
No, what was I gonna say?
They could basically use their mistakes of what they've tried to do with Spider-Man and like all these other characters and heroes to reinvent the character and prop him up. Right?
Much like yelling in the middle of his apartment, like "Help me,
something."
Just screaming.
Much like we talked about how the MCU needs to tell self-contained stories. I think they could also tell much smaller scale stories as well. Not everything has to be an Earth universe-shattering event. You can keep things small.
Smaller stories don't have to be a show. Also,
brother.
Yes, exactly. Just because we mean small and street level doesn't mean we want to. Doesn't mean it has to be a DC Disney Plus show. We can do movies that are smaller, more self-contained, more street level, and still
exactly.
I think if we added a little bit more of variety in regards to tone and themes and
genre, like DC
genre.
Another problem that Marvel has right now, and they turned the dial back on in the Thunderbolts, but superheroes are not doing superhero shit. It's like you said, it's global, international, world-ending events. That's superhero shit in like base terms. Yeah, they have to save the world, cool. But like, help the dude getting fucking stabbed.
Yeah, help
like,
the old bitch crossing the street. What are we doing? Yeah,
like,
there's a cat in a tree. What are you doing?
Yeah. That 10-minute segment from fucking Homecoming was probably the best part of that movie because he's the neighborhood Spider-Man.
You know what?
John Watts cooking?
Not
allegedly for like 10 minutes. For like 10 minutes out of an entire trilogy of 3.5 hours.
For 3 movies?
Bro was
for 3 movies. Look, I'm also Matt. You can probably touch on this a little bit. Matt, you can probably see this.
Would it be crazy to say I kind of wanted to see his Fantastic Four movie?
It's not crazy, but I don't want to hear you say it.
No, I think he would have done good, but I like that we got Shackman.
Yeah, but Matt, speaking with all this Spider-Man talk, it reminds me of like the exact reaction I had when I saw Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus, because I was like, "Yo." No.
Boo, bitch. Fuck you. This is a Fantastic Four.
Stupid cartoons. We're not talking about cartoons right now.
No, but the reason I was
a black Norman Osborn.
That's hard. That's hard. Bring Coleman Domingo.
That's hard. That's Coleman goddamn Domingo. You showed some respect. Did you realize, Matt, while you were watching, I had the same reaction I did of like this is a street level Spider-Man story. Where the fuck has this been the whole time? They could have done this from the jump.
I feel so bad, bro. I feel bad because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's a cartoon Spider-Man. I might watch it in my free time. And then the lead actor said something controversial. I was like, I'm tuned out. I was already like having a very low perception of this show. Now I don't even want to watch it.
Low vibration.
I watched it the other
day. Low vibration.
I watched it the other day.
Has low vibrational vibes.
I watched it the other day just because I was like, I need to watch something on my lunch break. I need to put something on, and like it was actually not too bad. It
does a straight level Spider-Man really well.
Story wise, that's what Spider-Man should be.
His main villain is fucking Scorpion.
I do hate that they did bring back the whole, because this is similar to it was Iron Man Jr., except it was Norman Osborn instead of Tony Stark. But at the end, he's coming to his own. We get the classic red and blue suit. He does his little swing at the end, but hey, I'm Spider-Man, and takes off. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is how it should be. Now do more of that. Instead we got him in space with Doctor Strange and Star-Lord doing, what is he think? Jesus? Where's Gamora? Why is going, like, bro, come on, put this nigga back in Harlem. Do some shit in New York. Like, let him go out there in the Bronx and Dykeman, all that shit. Yeah, I know about New York.
I think all in all, just Marvel. If Thunderbolts is a teaser that they're headed in the right direction, right, and Fantastic Four from all the critical acclaim and good things that it's getting, right, I figure it's big make or break point for a lot of people up until Doomsday, maybe, right, for the next several years. So I'd say overall hype meter, they got Tonkatsu film techniques of miniatures and Galactus.
Yeah,
I give this shit a 5 out of 5. I'm too excited for this, and I feel like I'm gonna hurt myself when I actually watch it.
I agree.
But
I agree.
I'm 5 out of 5.
I keep seeing all these reviews. I keep hearing all these reviews. I keep watching and reading, and I'm just, you know what? I'm buying into the fucking hype, bro.
Marvel
I'm hype
pill.
as shit.
I'm
Marvel pill, baby. Run me my fucking check, Kevin Feige. Send me that shit right the fuck now. It's locked in.
That picture of
David said this. And you know what? I haven't even seen the movie. It's better than Superman.
Damn,
that's how hype I am.
That meme of Andy dropping Woody in Toy Story. I don't want to play with you anymore. Is Louise dropping Superman? Nah, see, I'm an enjoyer of both. I'm by comics, sure. You know, I like Marvel. I like DC.
Yeah, you like comic. You like comic dick and comic.
Hey, space.
Yeah, as the only queer person, he doesn't think it's a joke.
Is he the only queer person?
That's not.
By comic sure.
By comic sure.
Just give your goddamn reading.
By print sure.
By print sure. Nice.
That was actually copyright.
That was my nickname in high school.
No, my hype meter is also at a 5, bro. I mean, what more do I need? I have Pedro Pascal. I love Pedro. He's a phenomenal actor. Vanessa Kirby, phenomenal actress. Underutilized in Mission Impossible. Matter of fact, pissed me the fuck off that she wasn't in the last one. Would have made it exponentially better.
Better. It would have made it good.
She saved Hobbs and Shaw because that movie is ass. Saved Hobbs and Shaw.
That one shot where he like slides. I didn't watch it until like a few months ago. Where he like slides under the fucking shit. That's hard.
No, you know a movie worse than Eddington? Mission Impossible, bro. Get the fuck out of my face, bitch. Get that shit out of here, bro.
Which one?
The most recent one, that dog.
And we can't forget this fucking episode. We cannot forget our favorite character from the Bear, cousin himself, Ebon Bachrach. One last thing before I get off this soapbox. I feel like Ebon is gonna do something. Like it's gonna
make me sob.
Yes, Pedro's gonna cook. Don't get me wrong, Pedro's gonna cook, but Ebon's gonna be the heart of that. Ben Grimm is the heart of the Fantastic Four.
You know how Ben Grimm
is
his girl leaves him
and puts the ring on the
thing. He finds
where she runs all the way to like what's effectively like a terrorist attack. And she leaves the ring.
I feel like he's gonna find a new love of his life, and they're not gonna save her.
Look, you know, my thing is
Alicia's gonna die.
Eben is a very tenured theater actor, and I think the whole being in a Marvel movie, being being in a fucking like one of those motion capture suits, I think is kind of like annoying and antithetical to like who he is as an artist. Yet I feel like he's gonna fucking cook like a
if anything, that's gonna work more for his character because he's fucking stuck in there.
Exactly.
More like
that's gonna work.
I think it's perfect. He's incredible. It's perfect. I can't wait.
Manja, baby.
Manja, baby. Manja. He's gonna put some zip on it. He's gonna put some zip. Speaking of zip, everybody, zip it the fuck down. Let's end this episode.
Bitch, who are you?
You know what? You know what?
Cousin.
You're right.
Cousin.
You're right. We didn't talk about JoJo Quinn.
Cousin.
Who?
No.
We can end the episode.
And also, you know what else we can end? We can end not talking about the amazing people over at Backstage.
Wait. You know what we can end? You know what we can end? Wait, me first. You know what we can end? We can end casting Joseph Quinn in fucking movies.
I can't wait till Luis.
Stop making that.
I can't wait for it.
It's not gonna fucking happen. I'm not buying the propaganda.
Cousin. One last thing, cousins. This is our 150th episode. We have made it this far. Usually, channels, if the folks who are not really dedicated to the game, they fizzle out before they even reach 100 episodes.
All right,
we pushed past that. Huh? Oh, sorry, 150th episode, man. I just want to thank everybody who's still along here. This ride, you know, we do this for the love of the game. We don't have any big corporate sponsorships. We don't have any
to do this
funding. We don't have any freaking brand deals yet, but we do have a lot of heart. We do care about the stuff we talk about. We care about these projects because we enjoy good filmmaking, good TV, and apparently there are folks who enjoy what we have to say, and we appreciate y'all so much.
Allegedly.
Thank you for tuning in. Please share this channel with your homies, with your peoples. Like and subscribe, bro. We got to get this thing going, man. We need to get this up there so we can really take this to a new level. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up for the rest of the year. Obviously, we're turning towards the end of summer right now. We're gonna watch Fantastic Four and close out our summer blockbusters before we go into the fall. But just thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in with us, man. It's been real. We appreciate y'all jumping in. We just please keep staying tuned. Luis has something to say.
We see you. Yeah.
Y'all think I'm unbearable now? Wait until the award season comes around and we gotta watch all these fucking real movies, baby.
Who's we? Who the fuck is we? We're not watching them and we're not talking about them.
For the pod, baby.
No.
I think it's bad now.
Dying in the seat, player.
You think I'm watching? You think I'm watching the best animated shorts nominations? No, sir.
Wait until after the
Smashing Machine. The Smashing Machine. I'm locked in.
That movie looks
big
good.
ups.
While you watch the Smashing Machine,
them out like candy.
All right. Well, while you're speaking of Smashing Machine, why don't you go ahead and smash that follow button for all Backstage OL related social media platforms? They're just like us, but nothing like us because they're great.
And honestly, Backstage OL, real journalists ask
genuinely
real freaking questions.
Yeah, none of that daddy bullshit.
You don't get any
clickbait bullshit that the influencers
they do very well put together in-depth interviews.
If you want to tune in with people who aren't going to send you some either A, corporate back slop, or B, some one-sided jag-off opinion, please.
Jag-off? Okay, cousin.
Please.
He's bleeding into the episode. It's crazy.
Please tune into Backstage. They do good interviews. It's not like, and I'm not going to shade any one particular publication. I'm going to shade all of them. Variety, IGN, all of you motherfuckers. They are not good. IGN gave Fantastic Four a 7. What the hell you mean? And they said superhero movies too superhero-y. All right, bro. Anyways,
their video game journalists can't even play games. You're gonna trust them for movies? Come on.
Exactly. Ooh. So tune in with somebody who's gonna give it to you straight, give it to you real, and give it to you quality.
As the girlies say, clock it.
Clock it. Are you not? Is it not clocking to you that I'm standing on business.
I knew it. God
Is it
damn
not
it.
clocking to you?
Clock
Keep
it.
And also,
That's for all my queer folks out there.
And
also,
clock with
we did not ask.
We did not ask. He's posting a black square right now.
Yeah. No, pink square. Rainbow
Jesus.
square.
Rainbow
Rainbow square.
But if you want to actually not do this weird performative shit Luis is doing and really support a queer person, let me tell you, you can support me, Tari Singo. I'm a YouTuber. I talk about comics, and I'm currently demonetized until September. It hurts, and because
like a real content creator.
What'd you do?
He said,
too hard.
Allegedly, my channel is stolen content because I did voiceover abridged dubs of the Warner Bros. Movies for fucking like animated like Justice League.
Fuck
yeah,
Warner
Bros. For
you
once in my life,
you beat
for once in my life, fucking cartoons have wronged me. But because of this, I am in creative overdrive of doing whatever the fuck I want because I have no financial incentive.
That's right.
So currently, I am working on a video where I map out what I think James Gunn's DC universe is going to look like with a whiteboard and a lot of cigarettes. I bought a junior novel of Superman to really get some background on this. Like I've done
as the resident respiratory therapist on this pod, smoke more cigarettes. It's cool as shit. It's hot as fuck. They're healthy. You live longer.
They make your skin better. They make you skinny. They're cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And they're
delicious. Don't listen to big medicine.
You never have to buy.
Also, as a healthcare worker,
I don't endorse any of this.
If you smoke cigarettes,
is not real.
if you smoke cigarettes and you want a grill, you don't have to buy a grill. Your teeth will already be golden colored. It's fine.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But speaking of gold, but
also I'm on
Twitch.
That's
I'm
right.
on Twitch. Yeah, follow me on Twitch. I play a game there. It's occasionally not played well, but I swear while I do it, so it's fun. You should watch it.
You play Marvel Rivals, right?
It's always Marvel Rivals. It's never anything else. It consumes my being.
We banning niggas in the comp right now.
But speaking of comp and competitions, how about you help us get a leg up on the competition by following us at all platforms at Cinestro Corp. Think about it. You could follow Christ, which is cool, but if you want to be really cool, follow us on Twitter. That's even better. I'm not saying you'll get to heaven, but you'll get at least a retweet from us once in a while, maybe. You get some bitches.
Bitches love.
There's no pussy in heaven. Probably. I'm sorry.
How you know?
But I know that the same way I know that this has been an amazing episode of the Cinestro Corp. Thank you so much for watching.
I know that as much as I know it's time to wrap this shit up.
We have spiraled. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube things. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. If that company hasn't been nuked on the ground yet, do whatever. And share us around. And we'll see you next week when Luis realizes Joseph Quinn is a good actor.
Like you said, go ahead and tap that like and subscribe button.
I'll kill myself before.
Joseph Quinn is a good actor, and I'm not Mexican.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Joseph Quinn is a good actor, I'm 6'8". Guess what? I'm not.
Like AZ said, man, go ahead and tap that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and give us some shares. Help us grow our channel. We appreciate y'all support. It means the world to us. And we'll catch you on the next electrifying episode of Cinestro Corp. Until next time, stay awesome, and we'll see you at the movies. Love y'all. Peace.
Cinestro Corp, we're the dream, yeah. New episode Saturday afternoon. We in your ear, that comic book crew. More good it takes what we do. Cinestro Corp, we're the crew.